Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Radio W.O.R.K.S. My name is Donia Youssef, and I am the award-winning author of The Monster and Mummy. And tonight's show, I am presenting a little story. It's called Bobby and Grandma. For all of you listening into the show for the very, very first time, I'm a cancer survivor. I have two very young children, and I wrote a book throughout my treatment to help other mothers and families cope with the trauma of telling your very young children about your diagnosis. I did find it really helped my family, and obviously all the questions the children were asking, being at first hand, I definitely felt I could help other mothers going through the same thing. I'm now working with children as well, so cancer patient children, on a very exciting project we're doing. So it's all very exciting, and we're just getting the awareness out there and to help others effectively communicate. When it is a traumatic time, it is difficult to speak about, such traumatic issues. So I just wanted to make the home life at home easier, and each week I present story time at 6 o'clock, which is an opportunity. Maybe if you can't sit down and you find it difficult to communicate, I'm here to help and read stories to your children as well. So here we are. Today's exciting story is called Bobby and Grandma, and this is a story which is talking to children about cancer. It's written by Lynn Marzinski and illustrated by Emily Shape. So yeah, if you're ready, we are about to start. Bobby and his grandma were out in the garden. As Grandma dug and planted, Bobby asked, "Grandma, what is cancer?" Grandma dug a little and said, "Well, Bobby, do you see this plant? That's a weed. If I don't do something about it, that weed will take all the food and water from the flowers, and they will die. That weed is like cancer." "Well, what can we do to stop it?" Bobby asked. Grandma said, "Well, I can dig the weed up. That's like the surgery your mummy had, where the doctors took the cancer out of her body." "Well," Bobby said, "so why does mummy have to get medicine to kill her cancer when it was already taken out by the doctors?" "If I dig this weed up, I can't tell if there's any roots left in the ground. If they are, that weed will start to grow again. If the weeds start to grow again, I'll spray it with weed killer. That's like the medicine your mummy will take to kill the rest of the cancer. The doctors aren't going to wait and see if the cancer comes back. They want to kill it all right now." "But," said Bobby, "Mummy will lose her hair. I'm scared to see Mummy with no hair. She won't look like my mummy." Grandma looked up at Bobby and chuckled. "When I go to bed at night, I take off my glasses and take out my teeth. I don't look like myself then either. But every morning I put my teeth back in my mouth and I put my glasses on. I look just like myself again." "Your mummy's hair will fall out, but it will grow back again, and she will look just like your mummy again. Besides, your mummy's eyes will still look the same, and she will still smile the same and sound like herself when she talks. It's just that her hair will take a chemotherapy vacation." "I never really thought of it like that, Grandma. I guess her hair can take a vacation if it wants to." Bobby giggled. "Look here," Grandma pointed. "I sprayed these weeds last week. See how they are all dead? But look at the grass around them. It's kind of yellow. In another few days, that grass will be green again." The weeds die, but the grass doesn't. It gets a little sickly, but it goes right back to normal in a little while. That's like what happens to your mummy's hair. Bobby was quiet for a long time, watching Grandma dig in her garden. Then he blurted out, "But Mummy needs some other stuff too, called Radio something." "What about that?" Grandma took a plastic bag from her workbox and removed a small clear circle of glass with a handle. Let's take this small magnifying glass and hold it so the sun is focused on this piece of paper. Watch what happens. Bobby was surprised because soon the paper started to smoke and curl up and turn brown. Grandma said, "This magnifying glass focuses the sun's rays on the paper, and the paper burns up because the sun's energy is hitting it in one spot. Radiation is like that. There's a big machine that focuses energy right on the spot where the cancer was. If there are any cancer cells left, they die." Bobby thought for a minute, then he asked, "Will Mummy curl up and turn brown? I sure hope not. She wouldn't look at all like Mummy then." Grandma laughed. "No, Bobby. The energy will be aimed under your Mummy's skin on the cancer. The cancer might turn brown and shrivel up, but your Mummy won't. She'll just be a bit tired." Bobby frowned. "But she's already too tired to play with me for very long. Will she be more tired than that?" Grandma replied, "She'll be okay at first, but after she gets radiation for a few days, she'll be tired, just like she is now. It won't be any different. Your Mummy will probably take naps just like she does now, and like you did when you were a baby. That's because her body needs time to clean out the dead cancer cells and fix up any damage the radiation did." "You're a big boy now. You don't take naps anymore, do you?" "No," said Bobby. "I'll be the big person and Mum will be small again and taking naps." "That's silly," Bobby giggled. "You can be a big help to your Mum by letting her have a nap when she's tired and not making a lot of noise or waking her up. I know you'll do a good job," Grandma smiled. When they went into the planting shed, Grandma pointed. "Look at this stuff." She held up a bag. "What's that?" asked Bobby. "This stuff is for killing weeds in the grass," said Grandma. "This stuff knows the difference between the weeds and the grass. Only the weeds die. The grass grows even better after I put that medicine on the lawn. You know, they have medicine just like that for cancer." "Wow!" Bobby shouted. "Will Mummy get that kind of medicine too?" "She might if the doctors think she needs it," said Grandma. "This kind of medicine's called targeted therapy because it's like the cancer cells have a target on them. When the medicine hits the target, the cancer dies. It doesn't hurt the other cells very much at all." "So, does that medicine make Mummy's hair fall out like chemotherapy?" "Well, Bobby," said Grandma, "it depends on the medicine, but maybe not." Bobby thought for a long time while he walked to the house and washed up. Then he said, "If the doctors have all this medicine to get rid of Mummy's cancer, it might go away and never come back. Is that right, Grandma?" "Yes, Bobby. Doctors today have many tools to make the cancer go away. Even if the cancer comes back, the doctors can make it go away again and again. Sometimes it really does go away forever." Bobby started to laugh. "I was so worried that Mummy was going to die. Some of my friends told me that people in their family got cancer and they did die. I was so scared. I started to cry, and then my friends all called me a crybaby." "That wasn't very nice, was it?" "No, it wasn't." Sitting on the couch and pulling Bobby onto her lap, Grandma gave Bobby a big hug. "Sometimes when people get really scared, they can say mean things, but it's not because they are mean, it's because they're scared. If your mummy has cancer, their mummies could get cancer too. That makes them so scared. They don't want to even think about it, and sometimes that makes them say things that hurt. But if you know, they say those things because they're afraid. It helps to make it not so bad, doesn't it?" asked Grandma. Bobby snuggled close to Grandma. "Yeah, if somebody else's mummy got cancer, I would worry about my mummy too, but now I can tell them all the stuff doctors have to make cancer go away, and they won't be scared either." And Bobby closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and fell asleep. The end. So that's a lovely little story from a little boy whose mummy is going through treatment. And his grandma gave him a really lovely way of explaining it to him, and explaining how the weeds, as a metaphor, is like, the cancer. So it's a lovely little way of explaining it to children in their language too. So I really do hope you've enjoyed today's story. If you do want to contact me during the week, please do follow me on the social media channels and my website, which is www.themonsterinmummy.com. Next week we've got lots more exciting things happening, so I'll be able to give you an update as well. But yeah, anyone wants to contact me on the social media channels. If not, I'll be back next week, 6 o'clock, for more story time. Take care. Have a wonderful week. God bless.